My name's Nino Parker. I'm a homeless advocate at Lake Merritt, one of the few advocates that have been here over 6 years. And recently we were posted up last week for them to clear this encampment. But prior to that, I was at another encampment which they rendered unsafe by the city shuffling people around and moving some bad players into an area where we had a safe encampment. So at this point, we're at the tennis courts here on the lake at Lake Merritt here. This is called the Atoll Plaza Courts. And we moved down here because it has a fenced area, it's safe. It's close to the market there where we have a restroom, and there's a clothing store there out of the closet where we can find clothes and different things to provide for the homeless people at this particular encampment. There are no other safe encampments that I know of, and the one that I formerly had, like I said, the city has changed that by shuffling people around like they're planning to do today. I sent out a text last night saying, like, I still see people over at the Lake Chalet over here, and people still at the up at the Tough Sheds. There's some tents behind there. There's people under the 12th Street Bridge right now. Their plan for moving people is not working anyway. You're just moving people, shuffling around, getting that $1.5 million that you get every year spending with DPW. You could put that money to much better use if you stop moving people around, get some managed, organized encampments, and let people do the things themselves. Instead of taking us, and because the reason you have not been doing that in the past, my feeling is this, is because when people are managing themselves in encampments and taking care of their own selves, we're not worth anything. But when you put us in the tough shed, like a woman said from KPFA, I don't put my chickens, pigs, or goats in any type of corral or cage, because at that point they become a commodity. And that's what you do with us out here. You put us into your tough shed programs and then turn over the keys to someone else. And the keys mean the financial keys that you're giving to other people to make money off our backs. Because if there's 5,000 homeless people here, 72% of that is 4,600 black people that are in the streets over here. So you got, if you're going to run these encampments, these internment encampments, these tough shed encampments, let black people run them, because we don't want people making money off our black backs, and we can handle ourselves out here. We can have some safe encampments if you don't interject some of your bad players into our encampments when we have a safe encampment to begin with.
Poverty pimping.
Poverty.
So let me just ask you, because yesterday, I don't know if you heard about what the violence, so that's what I call it, the violence of sweeps against unhoused bodies, right? Over at 18th and Wood, shuffling folk who were there because the city had already moved them. We already know this, the bait and switch. And yeah, they're telling them to get into that frickin' 72 tough shed mess where you have to share a room with someone you don't even know. And can I get a witness in those tough sheds, which aren't even environmentally safe for animals, much less humans? Have they told you, because I just want to back up a little bit, so they have given you notice, supposedly, that you have to leave Atoll Park?
Yes, they have. They posted us up with some their usual postings that would happen last Friday, and they have given notice to several other places right here around the lake too as well. But it seems as though today they have not came. I don't know what their plans are, but I'm hoping the city administration's office, which I spoke to yesterday, I told them this: I will move in a heartbeat if you come here and say to me these words: I have a place for you to go. If you come and ask me to move and say, like, I don't know where you can go, I'm sorry. I'm sorry is not a solution. I'm tired of hearing I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Those are just words now. Those are just words. They do not do nothing for Oakland's homeless, because Oakland is one of the few counties, or one of the few cities that had the only city that had a 47% increase in homelessness, although some of the other surrounding counties are having increases too, obviously. But Oakland should be doing more for its people. The poverty pimps are sucking up all the money. It's obvious now. It's obviously showing now, because you can see the money's not getting around to the shelters and to the people that need to be housed. You're trying to shelter people at a very low cost of shelter beds, when you should be trying to find room and board for people, permanent housing for for residents, the difference here in Oakland when it comes to homelessness, when you're talking about San Francisco, people come from Montana, they come from Minnesota, they come from all over the place. But when it comes to Oakland, we're talking this place was 40% black at one time. When I talk to homeless people in the streets, they say, I used to live up the block. I used to live over here. I used to live over there. My cousin still lives here. My grandma still lives there. They're in the neighborhoods where their families are. And so we are still shipping people out. Some of your homeless programs of housing, let's house people back in homes. Let's rehouse Oakland, because that's what's really going on. We need to rehouse the people that were here before and stop housing people in Antioch and Pittsburgh. And one couple that you sent all the way to Stockton, a 70-year-old black man, which paid his dues right here and did a lot of work. He told me how he worked for AT&T. He told me how he worked in the shipping industry and all the different jobs he's done to help build Oakland. These are a lot of people that actually built this city, and they're the ones that are being shipped out. We got to stop that. We're down to 22.6%, and that was last year. So I don't even know if that's the case now. I lived in San Francisco. I watched San Francisco go from 7% when I left, and now, 6 years later, they're down to 3%. Let's stop this. We're not trying to make this Oakmont, and what I mean by that is Fremont is, you go to Fremont now, there are no Hispanics and there were no black people anymore. When I was a kid, my dad took me to Fremont drag strip. I saw black people, Hispanic people. It was a melting pot of people. Now there is nothing but three races of people that live there. I don't have to mention them. Just go to Fremont and see. But we're not going to let this become Oakmont. This is not going to become that same thing. We are the people that are here now. We're staying strong. Just like the people up by the lake, every weekend now, doing their businesses, their entrepreneurship. It's good to see people making a little side money, so we can pay these high rents that you're hitting us up with out here, so we can stay here in Oakland.
That's right.
So.
Okay, and so Nino Parker reporting for Roofless Radio out of Poor Magazine at Atoll Plaza Courts. He has given notice to the city, give him sanctuary land at, unhoused black bodies, and poverty scholars can run ourselves, or he ain't leaving. There, it's it. Thank you so much.